bastards came, guns blazing. And they expect us to bow down? This? What you're fighting for? Here's my answer! A bullet! I fight you tooth and nail! Are we gonna let them leave fully loaded? No! Let them come, if they dare, and pay with their lives! Let them see our anger! Feel our pride! Show them who Komodo really belongs to! I will fight for her until the end.
Hi everyone, I'm Yiming from the Arena Breakout team. Our primary goal for Arena Breakout is to deliver a highly immersive tactical shooter experience to hardcore fans of first-person shooter games. That is why one key principle for us has been the realistic depiction of the battlefield. Doesn't the sky in Arena Breakout look fantastic? This is because our engineers have used the volumetric cloud technology that reproduces the visual effects of light passing through the cloud. Apart from volumetric clouds, we've also tapped into several other graphic techniques, like the environment light mixture, to make the game even more realistic. You can be at the farm with the sun right overhead at noon, or watch the sunset at dusk in a shady spot in the forest. There's also the question of sound. In Arena Breakout, you must use sounds to determine the enemy's position and gain the upper hand, to create a more immersive experience. We've developed an audio visualization system that displays the location of sound relative to your position. When you are playing, a bigger audio pole and clear lines means the source of the sound is close to you. However, not all sounds can be detected by the system. Some sounds, including doors being opened by the enemy, looting a container, or opening a safe, won't be detected by this system. We want audio visualization to benefit mobile players and provide a comparable experience to what you will find in console and PC games, without sacrificing the importance of developing listening skills in the game. Weapons are another critical aspect of any shooter game. Each and every firearm in Arena Breakout has been designed to be true to life in terms of how they look, how they fire, and the modes available to them. You can mix and match over 700 weapon modes and apply your choices to more than 10 weapon slots to forge the weapon that works best for you. The combinations are nearly limitless. We all know that realistic gun feel matters greatly to tactical FPS players. This is why we've spent a lot of time figuring out the best ways to replicate how a firearm feels. Take weapon recoil, for instance. We broke it down into its components, such as shake, the lifting of the muzzle, the backward movement, and work on this one by one in order to deliver a truly realistic recoil experience.
Wanna guess what's coming?
In Arena Breakout, the battlefield is full of variables and unknowns. This is a game that rewards taking risks. Win, you take everything. Lose, and you start from square one. This is a game of tactics and strategy, first of all. Even before you enter a match, you can shape your combat capabilities based on your preferences. Are you heading into the dark zone with all guns blazing? Or are you going to be the madman attempting to pull this off with nothing but a knife? Your choice of strategy will also determine the kind of game experience you have. You are free to make your own decisions based on the information you get. What kind of choices will you make under pressure? We've also taken great pains to make great maps. I will use the Farmland, a map most players should be familiar with, for an example. This is the first map we created for Arena Breakout to create a map that is full of interesting tactical space. We first laid out different zones in terms of value. We placed points of interest across the map to vary expected gains, risk, and travel time. These POIs also interact with each other to form the distinctive landscape of the farmland. A map like this makes for a highly dynamic and immersive experience as players engage in both a battle of skills and strategies. A battle that requires them to contend with the changes that occur in the field, and the emergent interactions between players with different skills and gear. I want to let you all know pre-registration for the game starts now worldwide, and we hope to officially launch in very near future. It's time to shoot and loot.
Asshole got fucked up real bad. Hey, boss. Check this out.
Let me see that.
Body's so warm. They might be close.
Nice optics. Extraction port's 2 clicks ahead. Let's go, ladies.
Sniper!
Fuck is he?
Get down!
Sniper, second floor.
Get that motherfucker.
Set! I'm out! Go, 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 go! Set! Fuck!
Oh shit, that was close.
Arena Breakout is like literally the first proper true next-gen mobile first-person shooter.
Just overall, there's a lot of customability and just uniqueness that, like I said, we haven't seen in other types of shooters before.
What I like most about Arena Breakout is the healing system, how you're able to use painkillers, surgical kits, and adrenalines to treat yourself.
I'm an ex-military soldier, so being in that mindset again feels absolutely amazing.
It actually speaks a lot for how polished Arena Breakout is, because I don't play a lot of mobile games and stuff like that, and the fact that I was able to dive into this one of these, it was so comfortable.
Dude, we got him, let's go! And so just take that time to learn it all and just be patient with it, because you're not going to pick it up immediately, but once you do, it's going to be a blast.
Just go and play the game. You will die a lot, but that's how you learn things.
Take it a little bit slower than you would the other games, because like I said, it's high risk, high reward.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back for another Saturday with the Golden Lions Legion. And, you know, every Saturday, first of all, you catch us here every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And if you're not playing Arena Breakout at this point, you got to give it a shot. It is my favorite mobile game. I'm over 400 hours in this game, so it's safe to say I'm addicted. It's launched since July 12th globally. You can find it on the Google Play or iOS App Store, so I'd encourage you to check it out. And today, we've got another 1v1 style solo matchup. These games happen in public lobbies, so you never know what you're going to get. There's RNG with the teams, RNG with the loot, but at the end of the day, these players' mechanics and their map knowledge, their experience in the game wins out. And so we're excited about it today. We've got a couple of updates to the rules. Now, these rules kind of rotate and change up every weekend. And so what we're doing is we're showcasing different styles of play, different goals within the game. Some players prefer PvP, going after those kills, and some want to stack up that bankroll. I see 100 mil loot in the chat, which is wild. I'm currently at 12.7 mil storage value. So, yeah, let's talk about the rules, and then pretty soon here we'll be able to have an interview with both of our players that are playing today. I am Mod 6. I am the caster for these Golden Lions Legion events. I'm here with you every Saturday, and I am a mobile gaming content creator as well with Arena Breakout. And you know, my favorite part about this game is its realism. My background is as an Army officer with combat deployments. And so this is the mobile game with the most realistic dynamics, representation of the weapon systems that I've ever played. So, yeah, I'm excited about it. I love to be here casting these events. And let's talk about what we're going to see today. Our rule set today is similar to what we've seen so far with overall structure. We're starting on Farmland, going to Valley, and then we're jumping into Armory. And so we've got the 30 minutes on each of those maps, same as prior Saturdays. Each of these players will have 30 minutes on Farmland, 30 on Valley, and then 30 minutes on Armory. They can iterate as many games as they want in that time limit. Today, the objective is total loot value. Now, they only get credit for that loot if they successfully extract. And this is one of the first times here that we've seen this specific dynamic, because these players will also be playing solo. No teammates to help cover with security when they're looting, and the PvP is going to be much more difficult if they want to go that route for loot value. Now, again, the loot only counts if these guys successfully extract. So they're going to have to manage all of their own security. They're playing on regular farm, regular valley, and we've seen those maps present a little less crazy competition in the past, but then Armory never disappoints, right? The guards on Armory, the AI, and the other players are geared up. There's no delay and no problems with accuracy from anything they find on the map on Armory. And so on our 3 maps today, we're going to see some varied play styles. Additionally, on our first 2 maps, these players can only use sniper or pistol. And so I expect to see both of them carrying a sniper and a pistol. We'll see what those weapon choices are. I'd be carrying that Glock 18 with the drum mag. You know what I'm saying? Put some dum-dum rounds in there, maybe some AP 6.3. We'll see if they do it. Now, we're playing solo here because that's what the format for a lot of these Golden Lions Legion games has been. But also, many of you find yourselves, if you're playing Arena Breakout, hey, the teammates might not be on. So we want to showcase what some of the best players representing the Golden Lions Legion are doing each and every game when they're playing solo, to give you those tips, tricks, maybe some techniques in there. Now, our players today, we have 2 players that we've seen in these events before. COSCRIPT was at the event you saw in all of the bumper roll with the live action version of Arena Breakout, and ACELAWRENCE coming to us from a background in PUBG Mobile, one of the best shotgun players in the game in PUBG Mobile. And so COSCRIPT with his COD Mobile background, both of these players are playing a ton of Arena Breakout and have a ton of experience. And ACELAWRENCE had a lot of success in the triathlon series. So we're excited about that. And then additionally today, you've seen us give away some CD keys, the in-game bundles that you can get. You put in these codes and you can get an in-game bundle. The way you do that is on your screen. There's that events button on the right, that star. You click there, then you go down to code redemption, and that's where you put in these codes. We give away 5 at a time, and it's first come, first serve. These are one-use codes, so you've got to be quick to get that bundle. So keep an eye out for that as we drop those codes throughout the stream today. And yeah, get yourself some of that loot, get yourself geared up, and hop into Armory. Use some of these solo techniques you see these players with. So yeah, so as soon as those codes come up, we'll show you here. We've got our first 5 codes now, and we're going to have more throughout the stream. So open the game, get that code redeemed, be the first person for one of those codes, and get yourself that upgraded loot. Now, I think it's an interesting debate on which players have the most success given what games they've played previously, right? And something that we've seen throughout this series is that PUBG Mobile players have like just a no failure at all in their mechanics. They have excellent mechanics. We see that intuitive thought process. They kind of feel where those threats are going to be coming from, and they eliminate those enemies very, very quickly. And with our COD Mobile background players, we see a lot of aggressive movement across the map, as is expected from that style of play. And so with COSCRIPT and ACELAWRENCE, deeply experienced in this game, but also having that background in the various mobile games they've played previously, I'm excited to see what we have today. So we'll get a chance to talk to both of these players and see what their planning is, their loadouts, see what their plan is on each of these maps playing solo today. So let's jump into this interview. Gentlemen, welcome to the stream. Hello. Let's talk about the fact that this is a solos game and how the tactics have to change. COSCRIPT, how are you managing the game playing solo? What maps are you playing solo in Arena Breakout right now?
Honestly, a lot of farm lockdown and a lot of valley lockdown. Those are my main 2 maps that I'm playing solo at the moment.
And what have you changed in tactics when you go from playing with a team to playing solo?
Definitely headset. You gotta have a headset because you don't have teammates to tell you enemies around or if they hear enemy footsteps, you gotta, you know, have that knowledge. So you want to make sure, well, for me, you want to make sure I have on a good headset so you can be able to hear what's around you.
Yeah, that situational awareness is huge when you're solo because, I mean, when you're in the loot screen, you lose all visibility. Definitely. ACELAWRENCE, big success in the triathlon event. But is it a little bit more nerve-wracking coming into these games solo?
Oh, when we played the triathlon, I didn't do that much, so it wasn't really that nerve-wracking for me at least. But this time, I'm the only one. Shout out to my community out there.
Yeah.
Don't laugh at me, okay? You guys laugh at me a lot when I play this game on stream. Don't
Managing
don't make me look bad.
expectations already because of the solo format. And snipers and pistols. Are you guys bringing in a sniper and a pistol? What's the loadout look like? I know you don't want to give too much away to the opponent, but what's the strategy with sniper and pistol in those first 2 maps?
I mean, I'm gonna go first. Okay. You know what? You go first. Go.
Well, I'm not gonna say what sniper. You have to wait till the game starts. But I am using a sniper with the best ammo, so I do not have to worry about having to 2-tap an enemy player. The best ammo would just so I can 1-tap them very easily. I'm not running the G18 as you mentioned earlier. I'm not running that, so you have to wait to see what pistol I am running.
Ooh, interesting tactics. What do you got coming at us, Ace?
So I mean, the stuff that I have here is the stuff that I got from playing solos, and I picked up this M24. It was naked, and I just added some attachments to it, and I have an extra sniper. It's a Mosin. I'll use that too, maybe if I die, but I feel like I'm gonna need to buy like 6 snipers and 6 pistols. I'm gonna die a lot, I think. And also, my original plan was I'll bring like 10 grenades because they're our best friends, like in this game. But then I was told that we cannot bring grenades, and my heart just.
Yeah, that's tough because grenades are typically one of the best tactics to manage like a whole team pushing your position. So you're gonna have to be quick in the gunfight. Are either of you guys looking forward to Armory on solo? COSCRIPT, what do you think the excitement is for Armory solo? I don't think I've had a single successful extraction in the last 2 weeks trying that.
Well, I think it really depends on your spawn. If you get a good spawn, it kind of depends on your chances of survival. So we're gonna see where we spawn. You know, if you get a good spawn close to Armory, you get in, get your loot, and get out. You spawn far away next to like gas station, you might get pushed by 2 teams and die. So it kind of depends on that.
Yeah, definitely. Ace, what do you think think's the better tactic in this kind of thing? Or do you push PvP and loot the gear, loot the guns, or do you go for those safes, try and stay away from conflict and get off the map safely? What do you think's the better tactic here?
I think you're asking the wrong person about Armory. You're asking somebody who's not that experienced in Armory yet. So I don't know the answers to that question, but I know the places of the free safes that we have there. Hopefully I don't get lasered by the bots. I'm more worried about the bots than real players because I'll find the bots more often than the real players. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's everyone's concern with Armory, where the bots just, there's no space, there's no safety, and they're everywhere, and they're really, really quick to shoot accurately. But so we're gonna let these guys go and get the loadout ready and get into Farmland. We're gonna start that 30-minute timer. Thanks, gentlemen. Best of luck out there in the solos games, and we're looking for some exciting sniper and pistol plays here coming up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we see a little bit of nervousness and trepidation from our players. It's hilarious. ACELAWRENCE, every time he interviews, he's so humble. He shows he acts like he's so nervous, and then he goes out there and absolutely crushes the game. And COSCRIPT, no Glock 18. That's a personal favorite, and that's one you see out there a lot with that drum mag. And so I'm interested to see what the pistol choices look like, because with those snipers, the main weakness is that when you can't use the maximum effective range, leverage that effective range of those weapons. And so when you're close up to another player, the pistol is what they're going to have to use to increase their chance of winning that gunfight. And when you've got a semi-automatic pistol, that's a significant step down in, volume of fire compared to some of those submachine guns. And so we'll be interested to see. We might see some Desert Eagles, maybe some gold Desert Eagles if they're trying to show off out there, because those weapons can pack a punch with a single round. So we'll see what they throw at us today. And right now, these players are in their loadouts, getting everything ready to go with gear, their armor, their helmet, these different weapon systems. We're going to see some various sniper rifles. And so I think we'll see some level 6, level 7 armor or ammo in those sniper rifles today. So as they get ready, we are going to hang out for a couple of minutes, and then we'll be hopping into Farmland for our first games. I know whenever I see that gold Desert Eagle on somebody when I'm looting, I get excited, but then, I've never actually carried one into a game. I think that's the pistol that I'm always going to sell every single time. And I'm sure we might see some F57 choices. So I'm interested to see from the chat right now. We've had quite a few content creators and competitors from all over the mobile community that have fallen in love with Arena Breakout, and you see them in these events here in the Golden Lions Legion. Which mobile content creators, competitors would you want to see in this event? I'm interested to see if there's somebody out there that everybody's been begging for that we haven't seen in one of these yet. And this is going to continue to evolve as we get into season 2 of Arena Breakout on the global launch. Now, that season has a bunch of different game modes and new equipment, new weapons that are coming. There's weather changes, there's nighttime changes, and there is a lot of new content coming, including a new map in season 2. And so this competition / event here in the Golden Lions Legion is going to continue, and we may see some evolving formats that take advantage of all of that new content in season 2. I see Ice Stream. There's always demand for Ice Stream in these events because he's a crazy aggressive player, but also might have more in-game time than anyone else I know. The most experienced content creator. He's the guy that's putting out so many of those tips and tricks videos in this game. And so Ice Stream, huge favorite in this. And Kiwi is a constant teammate in these events that we've seen. Sade as well, both playing as a teammate and a team leader in previous events. So some of these names that we see of content creators, competitors that really pull off some crazy plays in this game. And I think some of the craziest that we've seen so far in our last event with Little B, he pulled off a solo Armory run as his last run that was absolutely insane. Motivated me to jump into Armory and try and do some solo ones, and I think it's no surprise that I was unable to replicate that success. He had 2 team wipes in bunker as a solo and managed to get off the map within seconds with a crazy loot amount as well. So these guys that we see in the Golden Lions Legion event can pull off some wild and crazy plays, and the loot value that we've seen. I mean, in our event last week, we saw our players go for max number of kills, and we saw 1.6 kills per minute from our winner for 90 minutes of gameplay, which is just a wild number and pace for PvP. So we've got some crazy opportunity to see some special plays. And again, to review some of these rules, I have some good Armory runs every once in a while, but man, trying that solo is crazy. But to review our rules today, again, this is a solo format. So we've got ACELAWRENCE and COSCRIPT with no teammates responsible for all of their own security while they loot, and that attention to detail, especially the audio cues, will be so important. And there, the winner will have the maximum loot extracted off of the map. So we're going with loot value for successful extractions as a solo player. They can only use sniper and pistol on the first 2 maps, Farmland and Valley, and then they'll be hopping into Armory as their 3rd map. They have 30 minutes on each of these maps. They can play as many games as they want in 30 minutes. And so time management is a huge factor in this. And these guys, you know, we've seen everything from, you know, 1 or 2 games in 30 minutes all the way up to 6 or 7 games, especially when players unfortunately are unable to extract and have to reset quickly. So yeah, the general consensus here is that it takes between 3 and 6 million coin to do one of these events in game, just to manage the process where there's no covert ops. You're in TAC ops every single time, and they have to basically rebuy that crazy expensive armor and ammo on every death to continue to maximize their chances here. So yeah, both of these players have a ton of experience in this. And like I said, all we are waiting on right now is for these players to be in the queue, jumping into the lobby, and for our 30-minute timer to start. And so in a few minutes, we'll be hopping in with them, but we are not missing any gameplay. We're waiting on their gameplay. And typically the longest wait time is when they have to transition from that interview to getting all of their loadouts set, getting in the game. And as you mentioned, these players are not bringing grenades into these first couple of maps here. And so really managing the distance in those PvP situations, maximizing what they can do with that sniper, and really limiting how often they have to go to that secondary weapon in those close gunfights, because in many cases they'll be pistol versus AR or pistol versus SMG, and that is a bad situation. So yeah, in the next couple of minutes, we'll be hopping into Farmland. We've got our players gearing up and getting ready to go. And we haven't seen in the last couple of weeks, one of the things that we haven't seen is these players queued into the same lobby with each other. And when that happens, we saw that a couple of times in the triathlon event. When that happens, it gets a little crazy because they inevitably end up in each other's way in a gunfight. And that massively slows down the pace for both of those players. But also the winner of that gunfight gains a huge leg up in momentum on that map by being able to kill their opponent, you know, eliminate their ability for loot value, loot all of their gear, potentially get an entire new gear set in case they die later. So it's a huge swing whenever we see 2 different teams that are in this event in the same lobby, and you never know what you're going to get when it comes to playing these games in open lobbies, what kind of other teams and players will be there, and what the loot value will look like. So yeah, we're bridging some time here, waiting for him to get onto Farmland so we can start our first 30-minute time period. These players have 30 minutes on each of these maps, and they'll have to reset very quickly in between. So the 30-minute timer starts now, and we are hopping into Farmland with COSCRIPT and ACELAWRENCE going after that loot as a solo player. Farmland, known as one of the most active PvP maps in this. And we see ACELAWRENCE already with gold loot, looking like he is in, yep, he is in Motel. So he got to Motel very, very quickly. He has this key as well. That's a huge part of the planning for these, is having the available keys when the goal is loot value. So he's finding some decent loot in Motel, and we see him with the pistol out and collecting everything he possibly can. Thought he was about to miss that second safe, but that F57, one of the nicer pistols in this game. We'll see how effective he is with it, because in Motel, he's inevitably going to run into some traffic, potentially another team or two, as well as guards and the possibility of bosses in this building. And Ace not running into any major issues, kind of piecemealing his way through this loot value. Nothing of crazy value except what's in his secure container. Most everything else is in that 2,000 to 6,000 range. You see he's got to manage that space as he's only picking up the most valuable items on his run through Motel right now. And as he runs through Motel, basically uncontested right now, I found that if you manage your route through this building carefully, you can loot the entire building in 2 or 3 minutes and be out of there and on to the next location. And so we'll see what his strategy is here, whether he's going to potentially wait in motel for a PvP opportunity or just race through the building, get the maximum amount of loot that he can, and get out of there. Now, COSCRIPT is out in the open on
Go ahead and sprint
what looks to be the west side of the map here. Yep, he's right next to Grain Trade Center, coming from the west side of the map for that spawn, and he's got quite a bit of ground to cover before he gets to motel. He's got plenty of loot opportunities and doesn't necessarily have to run straight to motel. Maybe going to stables first and looking for a PvP opportunity. Making quick work with that machine pistol.
Yo,
continues his run towards motel, managing his cover, and you see he's got that 7.3-1 ammo, that level 4 ammo in his pistol.
I know I have a 2-minute delay, but I'll
a little bit of loot so far. You notice he's already got those painkillers on. That's a common strategy among these players. And Ace, again with the pistol, having no issues so far. And he's picked up that cotton roll, which is, I believe, a 15 to 20,000 loot value item. So he's having a lot of success here for a regular farm, finding plenty of loot value so far, given what we see as an average on this map. Again with his keys and opportunities to check these safes. Not getting a lot of value out of that one.
Someone there.
Now, what's interesting is if COSCRIPT could potentially be in the same lobby here. It doesn't look like it, as we've got players in different locations within motel. But COSCRIPT dealing with a player on the stairs here. He's got a lot of ground to cover if he wants to go across the courtyard. Elects to go around the backside of the barn here at motel. Get a better angle.
Also, straight shot to the... Man, that's crazy, yo.
Shot him right in the vest and not able to down him with that one. Now, the underground tunnel between the building that the enemy player's in and where COSCRIPT is could connect him, but he's going to go all the way around the building here.
I have no loot now.
Six and a half minutes into this first round here on Farmland, and COSCRIPT's feeling the pressure to chase down that loot, but he's got to deal with this threat here in motel.
I don't think they're up top.
And, you know, we saw COSCRIPT mention the high-level ammo so that he's one-tapping everything, but that one-tap really requires great shot placement. And if you're shooting into a level 4 or 5 vest, depending on where you hit the player, you may very well not be able to get that one-hit kill. ACELAWRENCE now out of the motel. He's already a little bit overloaded here, using those stem shots. Looks like he's going to chase down that in-game mission here on Farmland to see if he can add some more loot value. There tends to always be a squad of AI there, but it's also a magnet for other teams on this map. Ace in a ton of trouble, wounded here, out in the open, dealing with another player. Using his pistol, but he gets naded. Looks like he's got a team on him now, and he does not have anywhere to go. He's being maneuvered on.
They got me good.
He was suppressed, fixed in his position out in the open, and taken out in game one. ACELAWRENCE with 0 loot value after the first game. COSCRIPT with the headshot on that sniper, eliminating 1 enemy, and he has 1 set of footsteps left here to deal with.
Come on, come on. Come on. These guys are sweaty.
Quick peek, pulls the shot, but no hit. And he is kind of stuck in his position here because it looks like he's dealing with more than one enemy player. And with the chance that one could be on the first floor and one on the second floor, his only route out of here involves going across the hallway there. He hits another shot. Takes a few rounds himself. Not sure if he got that second hit or not, but dealing with plenty of frustration here as he hits players in the chest and does not down them with that high-level ammo in the sniper rifle. Electing to switch to the machine pistol.
Oh, shot, we might die.
Using that post for cover, but breaks his arm in that exchange. This is a perfect use case for grenades as that player continues to move forward and uses those nades himself. COSCRIPT barely avoids that. Again, the only way to get loot value. He downs a player with the machine pistol and downs a second with that MP9.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Perfect decision making from COSCRIPT so far.
Oh my gosh, I'm shaking, chat. I'm shaking. Oh man. Wow.
Adrenaline level is up, but he is left alive.
We're good though. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Oh my gosh. We're good. We're good. Let me fill up my ammo real quick.
Not sure if he knows if ACELAWRENCE is down or not in that first game, but if he does, he's definitely going to feel a little bit less pressure. He's got multiple different TAC Ops players that look to be pretty well geared that he has to loot. And so a guarantee of a couple 100,000 in loot value coming off of this map if he's able to successfully extract.
I think we're good.
COSCRIPT demonstrating a little bit of that multiplayer movement.
I'm gonna check their bodies in a sec. I'm just gonna check these things first.
And COSCRIPT not gonna make the most common mistake after a gunfight in Arena Breakout, where he gets too aggressive, too excited about the loot, and doesn't secure the area. He continues to keep those painkillers up. He's gonna clear through.
Give me something good.
He's gonna clear through the rest of this building and check these safes first.
Find a banger, chat. No banger.
Checking the second safe.
Oh my gosh. They don't want to see me succeed, chat. They want to see me succeed.
It doesn't look like he's having very good luck in the building with these safes, but with all three of those players down, he's going to have plenty of opportunity for that PvP loot value.
I might as well take that Uzi and be honest. Might as well take that Uzi. Let's see.
Now, the risk of looting a submachine gun or an AR into that secondary weapon slot is that, you know, he's allowed to carry it, but he's not allowed to use that weapon in this game. And so just having it in the secondary weapon slot, if he does that with any particular guns, puts him at risk of potentially making a mistake there and using the wrong weapon system. But also, given that he just put it in his backpack, that gun takes up a lot of space. I expect we'll see him drop it here pretty soon.
Much.
Not particularly good loot on that player. ACELAWRENCE now in his second game, rushing into stables. He's got some time to make up, which is likely going to result in a little bit more of an aggressive movement plan. This upper section here on stables is the most devious camp spot on the entire map. To the right of the safe there's a spot you can hop up and be nearly invisible to players until it is too late. Ice Stream's favorite camping spot there on the boxes on the second floor of stables.
3, 2.
COSCRIPT now holding this angle. Multiple sets of footsteps. He sees him there right around the corner. And gets instant one-tapped. Both of our players going down in game one. COSCRIPT dies to a single headshot from a covert ops player right on that corner hold, making the mistake of a second peek there and dealing with what looked to be a perfect headshot from that covert ops player. Now it looks like ACELAWRENCE potentially ahead as both players have died in that first game. With deaths this early on farm today, interested to see if these players go on tilt and get more and more aggressive throughout this event, or if we see a significant slowdown with players becoming more careful in their movement and really, once they get a little bit of loot, just getting out of there to see if they can get on the board. And I mean, playing on TAC Ops in Farm, Valley, and Northridge, one of the most important things to know is when the covert ops players spawn into the map. If you don't know that covert ops players spawn at the 25-minute mark on Farmland, you could find yourself caught off guard because those covert ops players spawn all over the map, some super close to Motel. And that's what we saw with COSCRIPT dealing with the spawn timing of covert ops players. He had Motel cleared, covert ops players spawned into the game, and he was immediately under some pressure. Getting into Motel as quickly as possible here. ACELAWRENCE holding an angle with this pistol. And while that may be a great angle, that is pushing the limit on real effectiveness from that pistol. So if that is a boss squad, I can't imagine, even on regular farm, fighting a boss squad from the low ground with a pistol is a tough proposition.
Can't see.
ACELAWRENCE, having died in his first game on Farmland, now he's very slowly pushing back into Motel. Looks to be potentially the first person here. Doesn't hear any footsteps right now until there it is. He's got footsteps down at the end of this corridor, potentially downstairs. But we see him much more careful in this Motel section of the Farmland map as he does not want a repeat result from his last game. Downs the guard very quickly there. Easy shots. Is that it? That doesn't look like a guard. That's another player.
Gotta be fast, gotta be fast.
Reloading his mag. Got a little bit of cover, but it looks like he's able to down another player here. The gear, the gun, yeah. Definitely another player that looks to be the MP5 with a suppressor and a drum mag. A good loot opportunity. Hoping for some good loot off of this player, and the player looks to be pretty well stacked. Those 50-round drum mags. Electing to use the pistol at mid-range here, and he downs him. Here's plenty of footsteps to the north now. Managing these mid-distance fights with a pistol is a huge ask as these players look to be closing the distance coming into the first floor of Motel right below ACELAWRENCE. Easy hipfire kills with that F57. Having to deal with those small pistol rounds, those pistol mags, and the constant need to reload. Now, it goes back to looting this player, and I think, you know, most likely one of his biggest loot opportunities is going to be those mags and ammo, but he picks up a gimbal. I'm not exactly familiar with the loot value on that gimbal, but
where are we gonna
these
head? We're gonna head
opposing
straight
players
into
doing
it.
some of his work for him, looting that map and bringing it to Ace Lawrence. He wins those PvP fights and it gives him an opportunity to stack up that loot value. COSCRIPT now back into the game, hitting the red stem, looking to sprint across the map and catch back up here, fill that backpack with some loot, and have a better result in those PvP matchups. COSCRIPT with nearly perfect movement and great execution in the PvP fight with the TAC Ops team, and then taken down by a covert ops player.
Not bad. I'm gonna pick it up for now. If later we might need to drop it. Nah, that's crazy how we actually one-shotted me, yo. You one-shotted me.
Interested to see if COSCRIPT may have learned that lesson on gear choice. He's got a face mask on his helmet right now, but I'm not sure what level that face mask is. The one tap to the face, if you're not wearing a face mask, that could happen from any bot, any covert ops player, but with a higher level face mask on, you really limit who has the opportunity to get that one-shot kill on you. Running with the knife increases running speed. Really move across the map effectively here. He's got some headshot opportunities, but those all look like bots.
They're shooting at some bots over here. Well, the bots are shooting at some.
Using the bots as an early warning system here, electing to not engage. He sees a player down the road.
Bro, where's this guy at? I can't see him.
Looking for the TAC Ops player in the crowd of bots, the one that has got all of their attention. With those bots aggroed like that, not sure if that was the TAC Ops player or if the one lower on the stairs was.
How's that not a one-shot?
Able to down the player with the second shot there. He's got another one maneuvering on him on his left here. One shot to the face, and COSCRIPT able to one-tap these teams.
Bro, I don't have time for this. I don't have time.
9 minutes left on the clock. He's feeling the pressure.
All right, we're gonna go stables first. Speaking of this most safest.
So he's not going to loot any of these players. It's an interesting choice here. He's going to leave that gunfight and just run straight to the safe at stables. Ace Lawrence now picking people off at mid to long distance with that pistol. Looks like he's made his way through motel. He wants to get the opportunity to loot some of these TAC Ops players, but he sees footsteps. That footsteps indicator. Downs another bot. One shot with the F-57, giving him a little bit of space to get this loot.
Sorry guys, I can't really read the chat because we're currently in the middle of competition right now.
8 minutes left on Farmland. Both of these players looking like it's only going to be 2 games. Solid loot off of this player with that M110. Likely some decent value in his ammo as well.
I think that's terrible accuracy.
That MP9 machine pistol, great for close range, but as you saw right there, not the best weapon for that mid to long range fight.
That hit me too? That's insane. Bro, my luck is crazy, y'all.
COSCRIPT goes down again, caught in between some guards and a TAC Ops team.
Bro. This is literally
he got pinched in the open there at motel and having to deal with a second death with less than 7 minutes left to go. Ace Lawrence now going through maximizing his loot opportunity in this PvP loot situation here. He's got these players down at motel, but again, you know, he's filling up his storage. He still only has about 6.5 minutes left to get off this map. So he's going to have to loot quickly and try and get some loot value on the board here. Now, with them struggling this much in game one with all of this PvP, even on regular farm, that's obviously going to ratchet up in intensity as we progress through this competition. And this could swing in any direction with regard to the lead in a single game at this point. ACELAWRENCE still has some of those stem shots available, so he's going to take his opportunity here and potentially just sprint to the extraction point. That decision on whether or not to bring the 3,000.
I can't really focus, you know, and read the chat because
he doesn't have the 3,000 for that southern extraction point there on the road, so he's going to have to run to his next closest free extraction point. Plenty of time with 5+ minutes left for him to get off of this map, as long as he does not run into any gunfights on the way. A single gunfight with 1 or 2 TAC Ops players, potentially a couple of Covert Ops players out there, could completely ruin his opportunity to get to the extraction point in time. Now, coming up on the 5-minute mark, trying to recover some stamina there and limit his exposure, but he's got a ways to run to get to this extraction. Sprinting with the painkiller on, the red stem shot, pistol out, moving as quickly as he can, but still having to stop. Now, going into the prone to recover stamina, you know, there's some pros and cons to this method, because if you're in the prone, you do recover stamina a little bit faster, and while you're in the prone, you are much less visible, much less vulnerable to other players on the map. But you're also not moving nearly as quickly. If you just continue to walk, you'll regain that stamina and continue to cover ground. He's going to stop here. He's likely got a key for the room upstairs, but he runs right past that jacket. Looks like he's going to run straight to the safe. Check one last position here. 3 minutes and 52 seconds left in this round. He's got to move quickly if he doesn't want to jeopardize his opportunity to get to the extraction point in time.
Just give me something good. Give me something good, and we're friends. Cash, cash, cash.
Oh, and it looks like he did have enough cash for that southern extraction point. It's more expensive on lockdown, and he may have been thinking about what that lockdown zone cost was. I believe it's 9,000 on lockdown and 3,000 on this normal mode on Farmland. Doesn't have too much ground left to cover here to get to the extraction point. Hits the energy drink that refills the stamina bar, and he's off to the races again towards that extraction. And COSCRIPT unlikely to be able to get a third game in time.
That would have been the move too.
ACELAWRENCE brings up an interesting point here as a tactic in this game. You know, the gear that you bring into the game yourself is never going to count towards your loot extraction value. And so even if you take a bit of a downgrade in gear quality, if you exchange the gear you're wearing for what another player on the map is wearing, that gear will count towards the loot value, and that gives you more space to absolutely maximize the value of every single slot in your inventory in this particular format.
If I'm not able to get anything, yeah, it's 3 minutes left. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to like grab any loot. That's unfortunate, bro. So we're just gonna extract, so I don't have to buy this
COSCRIPT
stuff
looking
again.
for an opportunity just to get on the board, but he is going to have to rush to get to the extraction point in time. Ace Lawrence now at his extraction with 1.5 minutes left. Pretty much perfectly timed this second game. Had success at Motel. And is going to be able to get on the board with some loot value. Our first player with a successful extraction. 17 minutes and 14 seconds on his game. And we're going to see what that extraction value is here.
I don't know how much loot, but 262.
262,000. Our first qualifying extraction with 1 minute left in this Farmland round.
Do anything.
Ace Lawrence now finally on the board with loot value, and COSCRIPT with very little time and opportunity to get himself some points on the board in this first round. Any gunfight that slows him down at this point will massively limit his opportunity to get off the map in time.
I wonder if he'll be able to get out. Man, he had the most flawless game. I don't think he's died yet.
COSCRIPT keeping an eye on Ace Lawrence's success so far, and he's inevitably going to feel the pressure having seen Ace successfully get off the map in his second game, especially with 262,000 in loot value on regular Farmland is no small task. And so Ace Lawrence highly successful in his second game, and COSCRIPT looking like he is not going to be able to get off of the map and extract in time from his third attempt on Farmland. So at the end of this Farmland round, we have a significant difference between these two players. And we had COSCRIPT and Ace Lawrence here finishing up our 30-minute round on Farmland, both running into significant difficulty in some of those gunfights, and just an absolute tragedy for COSCRIPT. A great PvP 1v3 situation on Motel, executed nearly perfectly, maneuvering around the building constantly, giving the other team different looks and keeping them off guard, and using that MP9 machine pistol to his advantage. But that one tap headshot from a covert ops player to even add insult to injury there. And, sometimes that's all it takes, and the game is over. So with COSCRIPT and Ace Lawrence finishing up our first round on Farmland, we have only one successful extraction. So that does not necessarily bode well for what Armory looks like for these players. And frankly, the difference in loot value on Armory could mean that a single successful extraction in our third round from Armory could be the thing that swings winner versus loser in this matchup. So both of these players showcasing some legitimate PvP skill, but also showing us that playing solo comes with its own unique particular risks and likelihood, or lack thereof, of being able to extract successfully. So these players right now, we're going to have an opportunity to check on the scoreboard, look at the score. It's pretty obvious what that is, but we'll see the scoreboard, that wrap up from our first round, and then we'll see some highlights as these players get ready to go for their Valley round. As we see Ace Lawrence with the only successful extraction in our farm round. In 30 minutes, he was able to get 2 games in, successfully extracting from the second one with 262,605 total value. COSCRIPT in 3 attempts, unable to get a successful extraction and get that loot value on the board in our first round. Now, given this difficulty so far, this can swing in any direction. Valley has a little bit more opportunity, especially regular Valley over regular farm, and potentially more PvP opportunities. So we've got a lot of potential lead switch that could come here in the next round. Let's check out some highlights from that first round on Farm. Ace using that F57 pistol to his advantage there and really doing a great job of managing those gunfights at mid-range, but getting overwhelmed here in the open by a full squad, a grenade assault, and that maneuver. And then COSCRIPT, the second peek on that corner, gets one-tapped by a covert ops player to end his hopes of a potential loot value in round 1. And always an interesting choice here. Obviously, in that close-range PvP, those pistols are going to be the correct choice. But we saw quite a few mid-range engagements with the pistol instead of the sniper in this first round. COSCRIPT getting plenty of great shots in, but finding out that even with the best ammo for the weapon that you have, shot placement is still a huge factor in whether or not you get that one tap or not. And again, ACELAWRENCE, those pistol gunfights at mid-range, showcasing his accuracy there.
Bro, my luck is crazy, yo.
And COSCRIPT in his second death, pinched between AI, guards, and attack ops team there in Motel. ACELAWRENCE with the only successful extraction. And you see both of these players having to take a walk, take a break after those adrenaline-filled moments. Now we've got both of our players getting ready for Valley at this point. The same rules apply, same format, but also that limitation to only using sniper and pistol. And so I expect to see similar pistol choices from both of these players, but at this point, with both players having at least one death, COSCRIPT with 2 in that first round, and potentially having to hop off the map quickly after not extracting successfully in the time limit in his third game. Both players have gone through between 1 and 3 loadouts each, and so we may see some different sniper choices as well. Now, many people just opt to go straight for the AX50. It's one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful sniper rifles in the game, but it's also one of the most heavy weapons in the entire game. And when the objective here is loot value, and an AX50 with a decent loadout, some higher tier armor and helmet puts you over that middle weight limit before you even spawn into the game. So we should see some interesting choices here having to be made on which guns and what, you know, how much ammo these guys bring for those sniper rifles. And Valley, with its wide open terrain, is also, you know, significantly more, you see a lot more often the use of sniper and long range weapons on this map. So we should see some sniper versus sniper engagements. Now we've got our second set of CD keys, those in-game redemption codes coming up here on the screen. So make sure your game is open and get to that redemption right below me here on the screen. Get to that redemption in-game as fast as possible, because these are in-game bundles with that higher loot, that, you know, that free armor, that weapon, that ammo that could get you into some of these games and give you a better shot as a solo. But each of these keys are one-time use, so you've got to be quick. We've got some opportunity there for some gear while we wait for these players to put together their loadout for Valley. They've got some tough decisions to make with regard to armor, weapons. You know, if this was me in this competition, I think I'd have to really stack the bankroll and make sure that I could go into every one of these games in top tier level 6 armor. But if you get a few deaths in 90 minutes of gameplay, you know, trying to bring the absolute best armor in the game with the highest tier bullets in every situation, that could make 90 minutes of gameplay, if it doesn't go well, that could cost 10 million coin in game to be able to keep resupplying. And so each one of these events takes quite a bit of inventory management and preparation to be able to stay competitive throughout the entire event. We've seen these players go through loadouts so far, and the difficulty only goes up from here. So as soon as we have them ready and into Valley, we will be hopping into the game just as we did before with Farm. And then after our 30 minutes on Valley, we have a 10-minute break We'll see the recap up to that point, and then we will hop straight in to Armory for our final 30 minutes. And yeah, it's going to be, you know, the ability to successfully extract off of Armory in a solo game, especially when you're going after loot versus just PvP kills. You know, one extraction off of Armory could be the difference between the win and the loss in this format. And yeah, the solo risk you have to take here by bringing in high tier armor and ammo just to be successful, but also having none of the security of the teammates is a huge factor. And I see in the chat the AR-30 over the AX-50. That's what we saw IMO play with last week. And that AR-30, really, he found a lot of success with that weapon, a little bit faster, a little bit lighter. So our second game is ready to go. We're going to be hopping into Valley with ACELAWRENCE and COSCRIPT. COSCRIPT with some ground to catch up on in order to get himself some loot value on the board. Valley, a much more open terrain map with some difference in elevation that these players have to manage. And so potentially a little bit of a sniper's paradise if played correctly. And we see ACELAWRENCE with the spawn on what looks to be the western side of the map here. He's going to have to move across the map and get down to Villa. Villa being the primary loot opportunity, but also a locked room with a safe at RV camp. And RV camp usually being what these players, the area these players clear first, because that high ground area in generally has overwatch of a large portion of the map.
on, bro. I'm feeling confident, man. I'm feeling confident.
That's what I thought. He's got that T6 IND 70 helmet on. He's got that high tier armor on, ready to go. And yeah, he brings in the big loot, all the keychains. Does he have the RV camp keychain? He does not, but he does have some other keychains here for Valley. So, excuse me, keys for Valley. So he's checking his inventory and looking strong. M61 ammo, 2,000 coin per bullet ammo for that sniper rifle. ACELAWRENCE approaching a gunfight here. What looks to be a gunfight between a potential TAC Ops team and bots, but they may have been shooting at him. Dangerous spot here with lots of elevation difference and crazy angles you can pull around that tower. One shot headshot with that F57. ACELAWRENCE getting very comfortable managing these bots with that pistol.
What's even in here? I'm not sure.
Not seeing any high level loot so far. ACELAWRENCE just moving his way across the northern side of this valley map. Potentially a TAC Ops player there. Quickly downs him. Might have been a bot based on how he was running, but that pistol serving ACELAWRENCE well so far. He's able to down this TAC Ops player in level 3 early, so not a ton of loot value on him.
Bro, why am I getting in all the sweaty lobbies? Y'all hear this?
Huge gunfight in front of COSCRIPT at Villa right now. He's got no choice but to close the distance with this gunfight. That is the highest loot value area of the map. And with that many other players there and an opportunity to third party, he's got to take this chance. One shot headshot, downs one TAC Ops player there who basically had no gear on. That M61 ammo is absolutely vicious when you pay attention to your shot placement.
Your bots.
Electing to not waste the expensive ammo on the bots,
why?
but taking
huge
damage, breaking both arms there as he crosses the open area.
Oh my
More
gosh,
shots.
This is insane.
COSCRIPT now nearly dead. It's a potential. There's a potential boss squad here at Villa or another TAC Ops team, but he's got
that like the
footsteps
boss?
all around him. Trying to heal up here. He's gonna have
think that is the
trouble
boss.
dealing with the boss squad with
Man,
only
this is just bad,
pistol
man. This is
and
bad.
sniper, and he's got 3 limbs broken now.
I can't see
Now,
anything,
if that's
bro.
the boss squad, they're gonna fire on him with crazy accuracy the moment they have an opportunity. Quick kill with that pistol. Really managing his distance and damage really well here. Peeking with perfect timing to get these kills. Gonna have to start doing some surgery because with a broken leg, he takes huge risk that any damage, fall damage, the wrong height jump, there he goes to heal that leg. He understands that risk there, but also with those broken arms, your arm is the easiest limb to shoot when you peek. And with those arms broken, there's so little damage that you can take in that limb before it kills you outright. And I would argue that the AI that goes with a boss squad is, especially here on Valley Villa, is likely going to have be more dangerous than many of the TAC Ops players that you see on the map. So COSCRIPT having to manage that situation carefully as he heals, and ACELAWRENCE here continuing to take every opportunity to loot in the basement, not at Villa yet, moving around the north side of the map and finding every safe that he can before he gets into the gunfight. Ace finally electing to pick up the sniper rifle, but immediately gets naded, runs into another player face to face. His legs are broken, and he gets down
That's gonna be a
in the basement, just completely overwhelmed. And
it's fine.
that is an example of the difficulty of sniper and pistol, because the moment he gets that sniper rifle out and they close the distance, there's so little that he can do to counter in that gunfight. A 1v3 lost quickly to a grenade and a well-timed push.
It's not giving me anything good.
COSCRIPT managing to stay alive with this boss squad, closing the distance. And at this point, it could be remaining AI from that boss squad, potentially the boss still up, but it is also, far enough into this game. He's almost at the point here where covert ops players have spawned as well. So he's going to spend his game under pressure on Valley, going to have to play a little bit slower, but given that ACELAWRENCE died in his first game, he may have an opportunity here if he's able to successfully navigate this extraction and this threat to completely close the gap on the scoreboard. Getting that final heal in and stabilizing his position. He's got a great corner here where there are only 2 directions where he can be pushed from, and for him to be pushed upstairs, all of those guards or players have to come down that catwalk hallway. A perfect opportunity for shooting fish in a barrel with this sniper rifle. And this is normal Valley and Farm, where you see these guys running into all these PvP. I would encourage you, test yourself as a solo player on regular Valley on a Saturday afternoon when these lobbies are full.
True,
and you'll see that I play regular Valley as a solo player more so than any other map and game mode, because the loot opportunities there, the PvP opportunities there, but you don't necessarily have to be in tier 6 to have a chance. But it is absolutely a normal game to solo Valley on this normal mode and come off this map with 300 or 400k in loot value. Now, this boss squad below him, they're going to filter right up these stairs, give him plenty of opportunities to get these kills.
Is it bots, true?
Easy work for COSCRIPT now. got to continuously reload because even with the machine pistol and a slightly bigger mag than the average pistol, all of those close and you know, close mid-range fights are going to have to be done with that machine pistol. And so he's going to have to constantly reload that thing throughout this game.
I didn't bring any ammo.
You see him
either, bro.
putting his last bullets, that last 9mm, into the machine pistol, but he no longer hears any footsteps. So if there's anyone there, it's a TAC Ops player that's hiding, not moving, playing sneaky. But at this point, COSCRIPT with a real opportunity. He's got, oh, that's a TAC Ops player there, potentially pushing his location. And without nades to defend himself, he is really going to need to be careful in managing that grenade threat.
You died, you're chilling.
3 sets of footsteps on the screen at this point. Now, he's done well so far, but like at this point, his challenge is going to be getting out of Villa in the first place. Now, having this key is a huge advantage just in this particular situation because he's going to be able to hide in this room as needed. If he shuts that door and waits till the footsteps are close, he can just open that door, have a potential entire team right in front of him in that room, and be able to get those kills. This is also an angle from this door that players rarely hold, and so that it's one of the last places that these players, if they push, will actually clear. This player seemingly directly below him. They would have very quickly dispatched that player as they push.
I need to start picking up everything, bro. I'm not picking up like everything I should be picking up.
ACELAWRENCE now back in the game after that unfortunate death. You can tell he's moving quickly here and seemingly running away from this gunfight. Not looking to mix it up this early in the game, but he may have no choice. Easy kill on that bot with the F-57. He really is taking some mid-range fights today with his pistol. One shot headshot again. At this point, Ace is just showing off with that thing.
We're hoping for that golden lion, man. Golden lion. It's the only hope that we have.
Now, to recap the rules, these guys are playing solo with a 30-minute time limit on each one of these maps. Farm, Valley, and then Armory. We are almost at the halfway point in Valley. They are going for maximum loot value. So the total loot value from all 3 rounds, the player with the most loot value wins this event. But the only way you get that loot value on the board is if you successfully extract. And so plenty of difficulty so far. COSCRIPT still in his first game and alive in Valley Villa. And ACELAWRENCE having plenty of success in the PvP, but dying in his first game. You know, you have to have a 100% success rate in every single gunfight in order to get to that extraction point. And so despite some early game success, he was downed before he could get out of there, and it still has 0 loot value for round 2. This is COSCRIPT's biggest opportunity and could be a complete swing in the leaderboard if he's able to get out of Villa and extract. ACELAWRENCE now going through RV camp. Highly likely he's got this RV camp key. And we have seen a golden lion found in this safe in a live event at RV camp here. So this could be everything for him, and he wouldn't even have to approach Villa. Now, COSCRIPT still in Villa, still alive, hitting another safe. All he really has to do is get off of this map, and it will be a huge move towards closing the gap to the lead.
I don't have any more ammo either, bro.
And you see he's got that button centered in the middle of his screen there, and minimized in size. What that allows him to do is be more accurate in those hip fire situations, because by moving that button around and customizing his screen like that, he has that visual point of reference for those hip fire gunfights in addition to that tiny dot that you're given as your center of screen in game.
I can just extract now.
What did he pick up? I didn't see in his inventory what that item was. He looks excited about it,
I
though.
gotta go.
He's got the safety cord, so he can extract from that position. But it looks like he was able to pick up a piece of, or an item with high loot value.
But don't die to
Otherwise, he
camper,
wouldn't
man.
be considering that immediate extraction. COSCRIPT now fully committing to Villa in this game.
I guess I got to pick up everything.
Now he's dropped TAC Ops players, a boss squad, all the other guards here at Villa. But he still may have to deal with what's been the bane of his existence up to
Yeah,
this
it was
point in
bots.
this
It was other
event.
real players. Nice.
If he has covert ops players that push his position.
Tad, I'm being actually finessed.
Absolutely has a huge opportunity here, but we do not know what Ace Lawrence has in his inventory. And yeah, that safety cord extract, I haven't seen players bring, plan and bring that safety cord in as often as I have them find the loot opportunity. Many of the AI guards will have a safety cord on them, and there are safety cords in plenty of different loot locations here. So it's likely he found a safety cord there at RV camp, but I'm curious what else of value he was able to find. In COSCRIPT, he doesn't have a ton of loot value, but definitely in the range of 6 figures there. And he's really going to have to move towards the extraction here, because he's got less than 13 minutes left in this round, and it looks like he is fully committed to this being his game. And so not a lot of opportunity to get another game in here on Valley. So he's going to need decent loot value, but he's definitely going to have to ensure that he doesn't have a late game death, because with this amount of time left, he is really not going to be able to do anything in a game 2. Seeing footsteps below him in elevation. He knows that they're close. Pistol kills with the F-57. Takes some damage there. And then one shot as he silhouettes himself on the high ground. Ace Lawrence going down again. 11 minutes and 45 seconds left in this round. COSCRIPT still in his first game, but he has taken a ton of damage here in the garage. Both legs broken, nearly dead. He needs bandages, and
T6 did
it looks like he's going up against a TAC Ops team. And there's more footsteps right in front of him here. He has got to bandage himself up. He has got to do surgery on those legs, or he is at extreme risk of losing this gunfight and being in a situation where he has 0 loot value so far in the event, with only 10 minutes left to go in round 2.
He got a neck.
He hides in the corner. He's going to do this surgery. Multiple sets of footsteps coming from either side of him now. That player definitely outside. Looting here before he finishes surgery is a bold move, but he's feeling the pressure to get off this map with some loot value, get on the board. Using those enemy players' supplies to make sure he stays topped up.
I gotta go, bro.
Coming up on only 10 minutes left in this game, and he has got to get out of this garage alive. in most cases, when you're on short time like this, really all you need to do is just take the rig off of that guy, throw it in your backpack, fill that rig with whatever you can, and get out of there. No good ammo in that one for him, though.
Use ammo for me.
Now, while that ammo might not be high value, that is the same kind of ammo that he uses in his machine pistol, and we saw him load up those last few rounds. So even though that PSO is not the best in the world, he's going to collect it just so that he doesn't have to go sniper only for the rest of this game. Now, this could be a minefield he's walking through because he saw plenty of footsteps, but now he sees none, which means they might just be camping and holding a corner. COSCRIPT now with his biggest opportunity so far in this event.
Was he looted? Someone looted him, bro. Somebody looted him, bro.
8.5 minutes now left. COSCRIPT with a little bit of loot value.
I can't even run.
But the main issue here being that this will be his only game in this round, and everything hinges on his ability to close quite a bit of distance from the middle of the map all the way to the easternmost portion of the map. And he does have a 50 or 30% chance extraction point on his way. But if that extraction point isn't active, he's going to have to go all the way to the eastern side of the map here in the next 7.5 minutes and do so safely to get himself on the board.
Oh, no.
ACELAWRENCE hopping into the game, no backpack, clearly an accident. He's got 7.5 minutes to get off this map. But the one thing that is obvious is he is going to have to be just absolutely reckless in order to do that successfully. And part of that will likely involve some PvP and the opportunity to loot a backpack along the way. Risking a little bit of fall damage there, but not quite enough height to hurt those legs. He is really moving across this map quickly. And COSCRIPT, with the luck, has that extraction point. He's able to get there now. 8 seconds from salvation and getting himself on the board. Makes his way there with a broken leg. COSCRIPT finally able to get off the map. He's successful in a 22-minute game. Absolutely committing to that game on this one, but winning every single gunfight, and he is able to get on the board, close the distance with ACELAWRENCE. Only 54,000 in loot value, but going into Armory, anything that you can do to close the distance is going to be of value because there are opportunities to get off of Armory without going into bunker. The loot opportunity is obviously a lot less, but if the distance you have to close to get the win isn't that much, it's absolutely a viable tactic. Now, what I'm most excited for in Arena Breakout is when we get those private lobby esports competitions. I've seen it over and over again in the chat. People want to see the best players in the world go heads up in the same map. No randoms from global. And I've got to believe that that is in our future here. It's highly successful in the Chinese version of this game. And I've seen some of those competitions. I've seen what that looks like. And it is, I mean, the intensity is ratcheted up towards to 11 in that situation. We see every single tactic in play with extraction campers, highly aggressive play, crazy movement across the map, and so I'm excited for that. And here we see ACELAWRENCE able to down a TAC Ops player, but almost no loot value whatsoever. The guy was practically naked. That zero to hero
this guy.
player bot, as we like to call him, giving him no love.
Did he leave his backpack somewhere? I feel like he left his backpack somewhere.
He's assuming he left his backpack somewhere, but with no armor, no rig, I would think it is safe to assume there was also no backpack.
Oh, dude. I don't even know if I'm gonna make it.
4 minutes left here.
I don't even have a backpack with me.
ACELAWRENCE is going to take every opportunity to try and get a little bit more padding into that lead he's got. But he's under the gun, limited loot opportunities here. Having no trouble with that F-57 headshots all day long.
I feel like our friend is gonna make a successful extraction.
He's in the lead. He has 3.5 minutes. And he really has to take every opportunity here to get off the map quickly. Gauging whether or not he wants to make that jump. Decides not to. COSCRIPT now. An aggressive move. Going for a game 2. Only 3 minutes left in this game. Realizing he does not have a lot of opportunity.
I'm underestimating how long it takes. You know what I mean?
All red stems and knife sprints for COSCRIPT at this point. Highly unlikely that in 2.5 minutes he's going to be able to go from where he is now to off of this map with any loot value. Now, ACELAWRENCE further into his game, but obviously limited opportunity. One shot to the head again.
Backpack. No, this guy does not have a backpack.
He's doing everything he can to increase his inventory slot. His inventory space here, but he's getting no love from the RNG on bot loadouts as he's unable to find a backpack up to this point in the game. Oh, and Ace coming up in the chat letting us know that he had found a golden necklace, but unable to successfully get to the extraction point there. And absolute heartbreak because 400K at this point in the competition would be a complete game changer.
Since I didn't bring a backpack, wait, is there another one?
COSCRIPT now in the gunfight, moving as quickly as he can. He might have a chance at making it to an extraction point.
I wonder if the port is open. I can't really see. I don't think it is. What's the...
Now with a minute left here, with potentially any delay or lag in potentially just maybe a little bit over a minute left for COSCRIPT. And he's in an all-out sprint. We haven't seen him loot anything major. So if he is able to get off this map, he obviously saves his weapons and equipment from this game. And anything he's picked up along the way will add to what he's done to close the distance. It looks like he does have an opportunity to get to the extraction point here.
Oh, that's a real player too?
ACELAWRENCE goes down again. 3 deaths on Valley for Ace. And we see a clear reversal of the results in our games on farm as we finish up our last few seconds here
so if the
on
smoke
Valley.
Is there, that means I can extract, I'm pretty sure.
COSCRIPT able to close the gap somewhat on ACELAWRENCE with his success in his first game on Valley. We're going to pull out here at the end of the timer. Now, we won't know until we see our final and official scores, as we will here in a few minutes. But COSCRIPT, with the only successful extraction on Valley as a solo player, able to close the gap on ACELAWRENCE after our second round. And then, as we know, with only about a 210,000 coin difference in loot value between these players, it could go in either direction. All it really will take is a single successful extraction off of Armory to determine a potential winner in this event. So it is it's intense gameplay up to this point, and there has been plenty of adversities for adversity for both of these players. We saw 3 deaths from COSCRIPT on our first round, and then flip the script there, and 3 deaths from ACELAWRENCE on Valley. And we've seen quite a bit more pistol usage than I expected up to this point in the game. And the snipers are in play, absolutely. But what we've seen those snipers do is really, it's proven that shot placement is everything. And it's very difficult to focus on that, the details of that shot placement in those mid to close range fights. And so this has been really a huge pistol game so far. But all bets are off as we go into Armory. The gun opportunities open up, but so do the threats with all of those crazy bots and the potential of high-geared, well-armed players that'll be on that map. So we're going to be going to a short break. We're coming up on a 10-minute break here, and then afterwards we will recap all of the scores, all of the highlights from our round on Valley, and then we're going to hop into a 30-minute time period on Armory, where these players, again, can play as many games as they can fit into the 30-minute timer. They're going for maximum loot value as a solo player, and that loot value only counts with the successful extraction. So we will see you after our 10-minute break. Don't go anywhere. And we've got our game recap. Before the break here, COSCRIPT with 54,290 coin in total value closes that gap somewhat, but still over 200,000 is the gap, with ACELAWRENCE in the lead after our round on Valley. And we're going to check out some highlights from those games on Valley. Both players running into plenty of gunfights here, as ACELAWRENCE, one-shot headshot with that pistol over and over again, very successful in the individual gunfights, but getting caught out. In COSCRIPT, we see a little bit of the use of that sniper, but the main story of this game was managing that boss squad fight here out in the open, having to cover 2 avenues of approach, and doing so very successfully with that MP9 pistol. And again, with the rules and in this format, while that gold necklace is amazing as an extraction item, and ACELAWRENCE likely has it in his inventory right now because it was in his secure case, the loot value does not count unless they are able to successfully extract. There's that gold necklace, goes right in the secure case. And so while he builds his bankroll, he does not get credit for that item as he failed to extract. Absolute heartbreak on Valley, that being a complete game changer. He silhouettes himself there on the top of the hill, gets that one shot to the head, and all of that loot value doesn't go on the board as a result. COSCRIPT with the only successful extraction in our second round, and able to close the gap somewhat, but not a lot of loot value for him in that round.
That's what we're playing too? I wish I knew.
All right, that was an exciting round in Valley. Exact same amount of adversity for these players as in Farm, and all of that gets ratcheted up. I'm interested in the chat. We're going to go to a 10-minute break here in a second, but I'm interested in to hear from the chat. What do you think the successful extraction numbers are going to look like on Armory? It's gunfight after gunfight here, and as a solo player, that gets a little bit dicey on the most difficult map in this game. So let us know, do you think these guys are going to get successful extractions on Armory? If so, how many? And we will see you right after our 10-minute break. We're going to go to break now. I'm Mod 6, casting these Golden Lion Legions events. I'm excited to be here. This is my favorite game in the world right now, and to see these guys with all of the different choices they make in these different formats each week on Saturdays at 1 p.m. It's a lot of fun for me. So we're going to go to a 10-minute break now, and we will see you as soon as we get back and hop into those games on Armory. Stay with us.
Yeah, go on. Don't waste your breath. Shit. The bastards came, guns blazing. And they expect us to bow down? This? What you're fighting for? Here's my answer! A bullet! I fight you tooth and nail! Are we gonna let them leave fully loaded? No! Let them come, if they dare, and pay with their lives! Let them see our anger! Feel our pride! Show them who Kimono really belongs to! I will fight for her until the end.
Hi everyone, I'm Yiming from the Arena Breakout team. Our primary goal for Arena Breakout is to deliver a highly immersive tactical shooter experience to hardcore fans of first-person shooter games. That is why one key principle for us has been the realistic depiction of the battlefield. Doesn't the sky in Arena Breakout look fantastic? This is because our engineers have used the volumetric cloud technology that reproduce the visual effects of light passing through the cloud. Apart from volumetric cloud, we've also tapped into several other graphic techniques, like the environment light mixture, to make the game even more realistic. You can be at the farm with the sun right overhead at noon, or watch the sunset at dusk in a shady spot in the forest. There's also the question of sound. In Arena Breakout, you must use sounds to determine the enemy's position and gain the upper hand, to create a more immersive experience. We've developed an audio visualization system that displays the location of sound relative to your position. When you are playing, a bigger audio pole and clear lines means the source of the sound is close to you. However, not all sounds can be detected by the system. Some sounds, including doors being opened by the enemy, looting a container, or opening a safe, won't be detected by this system. We want audio visualization to benefit mobile players and provide a comparable experience to what you will find in console and PC games, without sacrificing the importance of developing listening skills in the game. Weapons are another critical aspect of any shooter game. Each and every firearm in Arena Breakout has been designed to be true to life in terms of how they look, how they fire, and the modes available to them. You can mix and match over 700 weapon modes and apply your choices to more than 10 weapon slots to forge the weapon that works best for you. The combinations are nearly limitless. We all know that realistic gun feel matters greatly to tactical FPS players. This is why we've spent a lot of time figuring out the best ways to replicate how a firearm feels. Take weapon recoil, for instance. We broke it down into its components, such as shake, the lifting of the muzzle, the backward movement, and worked on this one by one in order to deliver a truly realistic recoil experience.
Wanna guess what's coming?
In Arena Breakout, the battlefield is full of variables and unknowns. This is a game that rewards taking risks. Win, you take everything. Lose, and you start from square one. This is a game of tactics and strategy, first of all. Even before you enter a match, you can shape your combat capabilities based on your preferences. Are you heading into the dark zone with all guns blazing? Or are you going to be the madman attempting to pull this off with nothing but a knife? Your choice of strategy will also determine the kind of game experience you have. You are free to make your own decisions based on the information you get. What kind of choices will you make under pressure? We've also taken great pains to make great maps. I will use the Farmland, a map most players should be familiar with, for an example. This is the first map we created for Arena Breakout to create a map that is full of interesting tactical space. We first laid out different zones in terms of value. We placed points of interest across the map to vary expected gains, risk, and travel time. These POIs also interact with each other to form the distinctive landscape of the farmland. A map like this makes for a highly dynamic and immersive experience as players engage in both a battle of skills and strategies. A battle that requires them to contend with the changes that occur in the field, and the emergent interactions between players with different skills and gear. I want to let you all know pre-registration for the game starts now worldwide, and we hope to officially launch in very near future. It's time to shoot and loot.
Arena Breakout is like literally the first proper true next-gen mobile first-person shooter.
Just overall, there's a lot of customability and just uniqueness that, like I said, we haven't seen in other types of shooters before.
What I like most about Arena Breakout is the healing system, how you're able to use painkillers, surgical kits, and adrenalines to treat yourself.
I'm an ex-military soldier, so being in that mindset again feels absolutely amazing.
That it actually speaks a lot for how polished Arena Breakout is, because I don't play a lot of mobile games and stuff like that, and the fact that I was able to dive into this one, it was so comfortable.
Dude, we got it. Let's go! And so just take that time to learn it all and just be patient with it, because you're not going to pick it up immediately, but once you do, it's going to be a blast.
Just go and play the game. You will die a lot, but that's how you learn things.
Take it a little bit slower than you would the other games because, like I said, it's high risk, high reward.
All right, we've got our players just about finished up in their process to gear up for our final 30-minute round on Armory. Now, we've seen these guys in all of the gunfights up to this point, and Armory is only going to bring more of that. I'm Mod 6, casting this event every Saturday for the Golden Lions Legion. And this event, every time we do it on Saturday, I get so hyped to play the game that I probably spend 2 hours in game right after the event. So you can catch me there, trying and most of the time failing to pull off some of the crazy plays that you see from these players, especially because what we are walking into now is a solo game on Armory. To review the rules for this weekend, and we have these rules, they get adjusted a little bit every weekend to show you a different aspect of the game. And so far, we've seen sniper and pistol only on Farm and Valley. That weapon limitation and the dynamic of only playing by yourself, no teammates for that added security in the gunfight. We saw both players with multiple deaths up to this point, a 200,000 coin difference between them. The winner will have the most loot value on successful extractions in all of these 3 rounds. So it's 30 minutes on Farm, 30 minutes on Valley, and now we are at the point where we're just about ready to start 30 minutes on Armory. And as a solo player on Armory, to be able to successfully extract, disregarding loot, right? To be able to successfully extract from Armory as a solo player, it takes a serious movement plan. You've got to know ahead of time where you're going to extract. And frankly, you just can't spend a lot of time in bunker if you even go there. So they've got, 10 times the number of threats on Armory than they had on either of the previous 2 maps up to this point. So as soon as they're ready and as soon as they're in the game, we're going to be hopping into Armory to see if these guys can, frankly, just manage all of the threats that they're going to be presented with as a solo player. And I expect a hard shift at this point. They're not limited to only sniper and pistol on this map. I expect both players will be loaded up with those ARs, the 3.5 or 4x sights, and some high tier armor as well as high level ammo for this map. Because as a solo on this map, you've got to be careful and you've got to be able to down squads by yourself under pressure. And so that's what I expect to see from these guys. We will have some more CD keys before the end of the competition, so stay tuned for that. And as soon as it comes up on the screen, you've got to be the first one to use those CD keys. We're going to hop into Armory now and see if these players can manage those threats and get a successful extraction. COSCRIPT with 200,000 left to close the gap. And we've got ACELAWRENCE. You know, he mentioned that we saw them mention in the interview, you get that gas station spawn, you got to fight your way across the whole map, and that is what we see. The first spawn as we jump into this game on Armory, and Ace Lawrence, you know, he's able to get some loot here, but all of those are heavy items, so he's going to have to manage his weight, and he's already got some threats in front of him here at gas station. This place is littered with guards, those AI, but also there are 2 spawn locations very close to gas station, both of which typically push into gas in order to take advantage of that one loot area that is pretty well stacked usually and not that close to bunker. So a lot of early game threats to deal with
What
here.
scope is this? 2x?
He's got his 2x scope on the M2000. Looks like he's only got AI to deal with right now. Let's see if we can find out where COSCRIPT spawned. All right, so he's already pushing in to bunker here, it seems, unless I'm off. So plenty of these bots that are all around him. He's in the tier 6, got all of the nades. I don't know if I've ever seen someone with that many nades. Looks to be carrying the M4. Probably has that 995 ammo. Makes quick work of the AI here. And he is just waiting for that door to open at the hole in the wall breach point in bunker, electing to go straight for bunker. Staying topped up on ammo. He's only got those 2 mags, so he's got to reload. Now, up to this point in these solo games, this breach point on bunker has given everyone trouble. Now he's going to open this to a full squad of bots right in front of him, and those guards in bunker have no delay on the shot. He's able to open the door and actually get a little bit of distance. There's just something we haven't seen up to this point. The door's open and he's got some space, but he's got 2 angles to cover.
I gotta heal, bro. I gotta heal.
Total body injuries with a broken arm. He's going to back out and heal. And this is the only way to manage this breach as a solo, is you have to down those guards one at a time. But the entire time, he has the threat of being pushed by another team through that same location. Ace Lawrence still on the northern to central portion of the map here, has not approached bunker yet. But we hear that bunker alarm in his game as well, so it means that another team at least has. So he's going to move through this satellite location here with all of the guards in front of him.
But you know what?
Justifiably concerned about those threats given his experience up to this point. Takes out that Mosin sniper. That laser potentially giving him away in this location, only helping in the hip fire matchup, but always a risk, that visual laser, when you're trying to hold corners or clear through tight spaces. Easy headshots up to this point. He's running around trying to establish himself with a little bit of security here in the middle of the map. There's an extraction point in the middle of the map. And so if he's able to have some success, find some of the right loot early, he can get a pretty quick extraction without having to go through the process of clearing all the way through bunker. COSCRIPT now still has some damage, but it looks like he is relatively safe. Able to knock out most of those guards up to this point. Going to need to hit that heal, and then he can get all the way inside bunker. If he's able to successfully get out of a bunker extraction on Armory, that may be all he needs to do to take the lead. He doesn't have a ton of loot up to this point, but safely in bunker as a solo is likely to be a rare instance in this round. Now, the biggest concern here in Armory for these players, obviously the guards are incredibly effective with 0 delay on when they open fire. But really the issue is that because those guards are so dangerous, you have to take the guards nearly as seriously as another team. And so the third-party opportunities, the chances to get pinched between 2 threats are everywhere, especially because the rest of the map is relatively open. There's a ton of change in elevation. But once you're in bunker, like you see COSCRIPT here, the big thing is that you can't get so tied up in killing every single guard. You have to loot as you go. And so it's constantly switching between taking every opportunity for the loot as well as, you know, making sure that you maintain a little bit of security and eliminate threats as you go. Able to pick up a little bit of loot value in bunker so far. ACELAWRENCE now going through the same bunker entrance, but dealing with the threat as soon as he goes through. Able to down that player, but 4 body parts broken. He's going to have to spend a minute or 2 here dealing with those injuries. And that is the danger. Whoever ACELAWRENCE just killed experienced the primary threat with that entrance. And now COSCRIPT continuing to clear through bunker, dealing with those threats, but getting injured along the way. The more injuries he takes, the more he has to do surgery, the less HP is left in that limb. Another broken arm for COSCRIPT in those gunfights with the guards there. Those AI are no joke, and that constant need to do surgery can cause you to run out of meds with plenty of threats left, as well as reduce the overall HP of every limb that you have to do surgery on. That level 6 armor, no doubt helping make sure that torso and head stay healthy, but you can absolutely die to arm and leg shots, especially if you're deep into the game. Those limbs have low HP from all that surgery, and you get into a fight with somebody that has those 9mm dum-dum rounds, those high injury chance rounds. All of that T6 can do nothing for you if you can't take a few shots in the arm and still survive. As we said, ACELAWRENCE finishing up his medical issues there and looking to clear through this entrance into bunker again. He's got a pretty good guarantee of a player that's down, but he has to go pick up his backpack. He's got a loot opportunity, but it's clear that there's plenty of activity still going on in bunker. So he's got to be careful to manage his security as he loots this player. He elects to push through there. Looks like he's going to close multiple doors so to make sure he can loot safely here. This is what he needs to see. High value in that AR-57. Really great armored rig there. Not sure that he's going to have the space, but he'd be well advised to just pick up that armored rig as his own rig to be able to maximize that loot value. Another team looking like a COSCRIPT here. He's got multiple footsteps in front of him. Could be a team, but he's got to stop and do surgery on that arm. Hit those painkillers. IMO the legend in the chat. He's got a good corner position here. Still with that broken arm. Immediately addresses the threat, but taking more damage. Just over 18 minutes left in this round. Both of these players spending plenty of time having to heal up at this point. Reloading ammo. Looks like COSCRIPT may only have 1 mag left at this point. He's got to be able to go through those priorities of when to heal, when to reload those mags, where to take cover with any reasonable chance of safety.
Question
It's
is
a gunfight
where?
near COSCRIPT, and now ACELAWRENCE able to secure himself at this hole in the wall at bunker entrance, but looking like he may just immediately get out of there after looting that
I need to
player.
load my gun,
Take
like,
the loot
right now.
value he has so far and try and extend his lead with an extraction here in the middle of the map. He's got good loot value. He did elect to exchange that armored rig, able to get as much value out of that
What's up,
TAC
Kevin
Ops
Brown?
player he
Hey.
killed there at hole in the wall as possible. And we see both players opting for that STO kit, which, you know, limits that risk of having to lose HP every time you do surgery. When you see those lower level surgery kits, we end up seeing players that struggle with that constant HP loss throughout the game. This is
lagging.
maximum loot value in 3 rounds on Farm, Valley, and then Armory. Now, he's at that extraction point, but it is not yet activated. He has to clear all the way up, eliminate all of those threats, and activate the extraction point before he's able to get out of there. And loot value as the win criteria for solo games really ratchets up that difficulty. COSCRIPT hits the Taurian drink, but doesn't pick up that Stables Warehouse key. Not a super valuable key, but absolutely worth adding in to the kit there, only taking up 1 space. Now, getting close to the halfway point here, COSCRIPT well established in bunker, really moving to clear his way through bunker and not running into any major problems up to this point. But with the level of difficulty here, it is not over until you're all the way down at the extraction point. We see COSCRIPT, another broken arm and more damage. Florence activates the extraction. May be able to extend his lead here. He's going to have a solid amount of extraction value in the loot there, given that he took all of that kit off of the player he killed at hole in the wall. Takes the opportunity to not clear all the way through bunker, increase his likelihood of getting off this map, and that may be all it takes here. We'll see what COSCRIPT sees from, you know, the point of success here, the opportunity to maybe extract after having cleared all of bunker. But we don't see any of those crazy 200k plus loot items in his inventory right now, and that's really what he needs to definitively take the lead at this point. Coming into this game, COSCRIPT is down by 200,000 coin, both players having died at least 3 times up to this point in the competition on Farm and Valley, and both seeing a solid degree of success here on Armory up to this point. But it is not over until he's out of there. A second Stables Warehouse key. He's filling up on loot capacity here pretty quickly, but plenty left to go through on this map to really try and maximize the value of every single inventory slot. Easily takes out that AI, and he no longer has any footsteps. The GPU, high value there. He still needs more and able to really guarantee that he's going to have an impact on the leaderboard. ACELAWRENCE, 5 seconds away from extending that lead.
Okay.
He successfully gets
I
off
think
the map.
I did a successful run, right? I was panicking.
15 and a half minutes is an excellent result there. Let's see what this loot value looks like. Remember, he is 200,000 ahead up to this point. 233,000. He extends his lead to over 430K. COSCRIPT is really going to have some high value items in the inventory to be able to make up that kind of gap. And with 12 minutes and 40 seconds left, it's looking more and more like this will be a one game round for COSCRIPT. So he really has to make sure that he has enough in the inventory to have enough of an impact to give himself a chance for the win. Checking every room. One key in one of those pieces of luggage could make the difference between a win and a loss here for COSCRIPT.
I might have wasted that, bro. I don't know. I feel like it's all bots in here.
You can see electing to leave behind those glasses, only going for the really high value loot items that will hopefully make a big enough of an impact to close what is now over a 430,000 coin gap.
Album, nice.
The album helping to add some loot value there, but only at 15K. That album is not going to be what
break my arm. That's good.
Makes the real difference. And COSCRIPT really, like, only bringing one magazine into this game is an interesting choice because he is spending quite a bit of time reloading, but what that does do is leave him more room for nades and more room for loot, although we have not seen him use very many grenades on this game so far. He does pick up those gold rim glasses. He's likely, you know, if he's cleared enough of bunker, he's likely to continue and just activate the extraction here. But it's clear he wanted a PvP opportunity in bunker, as he's making comments about it's only AI, it's only bots so far. So, you know, having to rely on the RNG, what the safes give you in bunker is, you know, is not always going to work. And a PvP opportunity at this point might be all he needs to get all of the loot he needs to win this game.
I don't think so. I don't think they are. Wave filter. We'll pick it up for now, though.
As exposed here in the middle of bunker, but it looks like all of the bots are down. And if I was him, I would be praying for a PvP opportunity because it is all or nothing for COSCRIPT at this point. We see some footsteps, hoping for a team potentially breaching that side of Armory, but we did not hear the alarm go off. Drops a guard, able to avoid the broken limb there.
I need to go downstairs, bro. I mean, I'm gonna check these. I'm gonna check these real quick. I'm gonna go downstairs.
If he has a blue key for that basement room, that really could make the difference here.
One banger, bro. One banger. That's all I need.
But he's right. He definitely needs just one item worth 200K or more, and this game could be his. Might need more than that, but he really just needs one huge loot item and a successful extraction, and that could do it. Hits that blue stem as we see ACELAWRENCE is back into a game, and you know, we've seen a successful Armory extraction in the triathlon series of less than 5 minutes, so it's totally feasible that he's able to get off this map, but in order to do that, he's going to have to take the middle of the map extraction point, and he's going to have to get there very, very quickly. Just over 8 minutes left in this round. ACELAWRENCE looking to extend that lead even more. Looks like he's down a TAC Ops player there. that could be really all he needs. He goes and loots that player, gets a couple 100K in equipment value off them. He could hit the middle of the map and really, you know, nearly put this game out of reach.
Bro, he won, bro. I have not found anything good, bro.
Tough loot value here for COSCRIPT. I'm not sure if he's activated that extraction point yet or not. Plenty of time with over 7 minutes left.
Found nothing good, bro. It's crazy. Oh, that might be a banger. It's not a banger, bro. It's a freaking 10.
He sees the gold item, but still not quite enough. At this point, he probably just needs to drop those grenades and make space for the titanium alloy.
Let me kill this bot real quick.
With 15,006 slots, though, that may not be worth it.
Is he inside of that building? Wait, is he inside of here? I don't know where he's at, low-key.
6.5 minutes now left.
Hold on, I gotta pick this up.
He's playing the inventory Tetris. He's only got 3 slots in that backpack, though, so he's got a few decisions to make if he wants to take that titanium alloy out with him.
I killed there.
Ace knows what he's got to do here, and remember there's a much longer timer on these armory extractions, and so he's going to need to successfully hit the extraction, loot these bodies, hit any safes along the way.
Ah, okay.
But he's only got a couple of minutes before he has to activate the extraction to get off in time.
Let's see, what does he have? We have 6 kills left.
The time it takes to heal here is every second is crucial with how quickly he's going to need to activate an extraction point. So he's trying to deal with any potential long-range threats. But he still has not looted that first body he killed. Hackhouse player, that FAL providing some value, but no backpack there. Less than 5 minutes left. M62 ammo, 40 rounds of that is high value, and Ace Lawrence doing everything he can at this point to extend his lead. COSCRIPT now reloading back up on the first floor
Pretty much looted
of bunker. He's got very little time left to be able to activate this extraction and get out of here. Checking these last couple of rooms, hoping for a lottery ticket. COSCRIPT now looking like he's putting himself at risk in extraction timing by checking every last loot opportunity, but he knows he's got a lot of ground to cover in order to give himself a chance.
Yeah, get out of here.
I think COSCRIPT has been in every single room of bunker on this run at this point. He has checked everything possible, and now he's going to run to the extraction point. 2.5 minutes left. As soon as he hits this extraction lever, that will cause a guard, a bot alert in that basement. So he's going to have to hit the extraction here now, get down to the basement, and hold his position.
Insane shit.
He activates his extraction. Now he's on the run to the basement. He's going to have to go all the way to that back corner, and he's got the potential of being pushed from 2 different directions. You see those footsteps already. COSCRIPT with a huge game so far, being able to manage all of those threats, but not coming out on top of the loot RNG. Takes another broken arm. Picks up his position on this corner, able to deal with most of these threats. As you see, those guards continue to spawn once you've activated that extraction timer. He still may be able to get off this map if there's any delay between the viewpoint that we're watching from him and the actual official clock. And so we're going to be finishing up on the official timer here in 30 seconds. As COSCRIPT in a fight for his life in the bunker basement there. He sees the red smoke, but he's got to survive. Now we know he activated that extraction with 2 minutes left on the official timer, which does not give him enough time if there's no delay here. And, you know, I'm leaving open a possibility that there could be a delay between his real time, maybe some stream delay or something like that, that keeps him within the rules here. But we've got the timer ending now. We're going to be pulling out of this game. It looks like COSCRIPT potentially unable to extract in time from what was a pretty successful game on Armory up to that point. And so more success on Armory than we saw on potentially either of the previous 2 games, which is a real rarity in Arena Breakout, given all of the different threats you have to deal with and all of the complexity of that Armory map. So we're going to wait here on the final scores, the official scores, to see who our winner is, and then we'll see potentially a recap of some of the highlights of that final 30 minutes. And before we leave you, we will get a chance to interview our winner once we know who that is, and find out what the experience is like going after maximum loot value possible as a solo player. I'm pretty surprised, though, up to this point, that that we saw so much success in the gunfight on Armory compared to Farm and Valley. And really what it was is, you know, some of these players have a ton of experience there on this map as they go straight to Armory to really get the reps in. So we've got a couple of things to do here before we're done. We'll have our 3rd set of CD keys coming up here pretty soon. There we go. This is our last set of CD keys. Be quick if you want to get the bundle that comes with entering this. Go to that star button in game on Arena Breakout. Go to the code redemption section and enter one of these 5 keys in order to get that bundle. Hop in Armory and see if you can exceed what you saw today and what these players have to deal with as a solo player on that map. So you got to be quick. These are first come, first serve, one-time use bundle keys. We should have our final result on the scoreboard here pretty soon. We'll see what the result was from Armory officially, and then we'll see our final here in a little bit. All right, interested to see if COSCRIPT did get off the map. It does look like he was able to extract with a slight delay between the official timer and his in-game time. And so COSCRIPT with 210,765, his most successful round of all three being on Armory. But ACELAWRENCE with 233,382 in that first extraction, winning this round on Armory. What that's going to be is an ACELAWRENCE victory for today, able to continue to extend the lead there in his third round. And really, what it was that COSCRIPT really needed some of those high loot value items to show up for him, given his lack of PvP against other TAC Ops players. No other teams really pushed the bunker in his game and gave him opportunities outside of what was in those safes. And so exciting games here, lots of gunfights and adversity for both of these players, and a close match until the very end, with ACELAWRENCE being able to get off of the map with that central extraction point. Let's check out some highlights. And COSCRIPT with one of the most successful solo breaches from this breach point that we've seen up to this point in the Golden Lions Legion. That doorway giving plenty of players before him a challenge. But ACELAWRENCE taking the tactic of dominating the center of the map, not breaking all the way into bunker, and able to extract there. And COSCRIPT dealt with every one of these threats, giving him the opportunity to loot all of bunker. But that kill right there at the hole in the wall for ACELAWRENCE really made the difference in his opportunity to get the most loot off of this map and get off the map quickly, as we saw that central extraction point giving him an opportunity to activate the extraction early, get off the map with over 200k in loot value, and really extending the lead with that extraction beyond the point of recovery for COSCRIPT. And ACELAWRENCE fighting until the end there, even after the successful extraction. He's able to get a TAC Ops player kill, but again, with so little time left, not able to get the successful extraction and get off the map.
GG. I did my best.
And COSCRIPT here fighting it out until the very end, able to extract off of Armory.
He died,
but not enough loot value. Now we're going to get a chance to interview our winner, ACELAWRENCE, here in just a minute. The final score at 495,000 for ACELAWRENCE and 265,000 for COSCRIPT. 30 minutes on each of Farm, Valley, and Armory, and plenty of deaths we saw today. We saw the difficulty of playing this game solo, and to contrast these solo results with the triathlon series or some of the team-based event rule sets in the Golden Lions Legion, we can see that solo involves much more in the way of having to get through gunfights, difficult gunfights, whereas in those team setups, they rolled across the map and it became much more about the loot RNG. So ACELAWRENCE with that, sealing the victory with that successful extraction on Armory. And we saw plenty of people predict prior to our third round that neither player would get a single successful Armory extraction, and both players successfully extracting. The only round where both players had loot value on the scoreboard was our most difficult map in Armory. So we're going to be getting into an interview here with ACELAWRENCE right now, and we will hear what he felt about this format and how difficult some of those gunfights were.
Okay, there we go.
ACELAWRENCE, our winner. You were a little bit nervous coming into this, but you made it happen in that Armory game.
I can't believe it. I'm not gonna lie. I played a lot of solo versus squad arena runs, but that's my first victory. I played so safe too. It's kind of like embarrassing too. I don't normally play safe when I play my games, but that one I had to play safe. I played it safe. I feel
Yeah,
bad,
absolutely.
But, hey,
I mean, you had that
my first
opportunity with the
extraction.
gunfight right inside hole in the wall, and it looked like, hey, like let's loot this body and get out of here, not clear all the way through bunker. I think that was a key decision. You know, what was the thought process of deciding to just not deal with bunker and get out of there?
Well, the game keep sending me to gas station spawn, so yeah, it was so far, and I was so scared to run in open because people are everywhere. I'm still not familiar with Armory, like what I said. I'm still learning the map. I only played like Armory, like I would say like 10 to 15 times with teammates too, not fighting, just looting. I'm still learning, but I gotta say I got so lucky there. I think COSCRIPT deserved the win there because he did so much better. Like he fought so many people, he killed so many. Dude, I just killed one guy. That's it. But hey.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the PvP is really the only time you can guarantee some high loot value on that map. And that player being in that spot, and that was a close gunfight too. Yeah, half your body was broken, but I think that one kill was the key moment.
I had to do 5 surgeries. Yeah, I just one guy, and I got lucky that he had a lot of stuff. I tried to find his backpack too. He didn't have a backpack, but I tried to get in and find his backpack, but I couldn't find it. I could try and get it like deeper, but it would be too risky. I just wanted to secure one win, one good run, and then do whatever next game. It was my first run too. That's why I did it so quickly. I had to leave.
Yeah, I think
fast.
that was absolutely key to victory. So if you've got any tips for people in the chat on what they can do to have some success as a solo on Armory, what would you tell them?
Okay, again, you're asking the wrong guy.
Hey, we just watched you have that success. The highest loot value is the solo on Armory. You gotta have something for us.
Wait, just make sure to have. Don't forget your painkillers because I forget it a lot, and make sure to have your red stem like active most of the time, so you have lots of energy when you fight people, and you can run faster. You can rotate around the map, and just have your crosshair ready once you get in the fight. You know, have that reaction time ready. Make sure to have that muscle memory when you play with gyro. Especially I play with gyro. I got lucky when I fought that guy because I didn't expect that somebody's gonna be there. But thankfully, I have experience with shooting games and stuff, and I reacted on time and survived. I did 5 surgeries there. 5 surgeries. My body was red. 5 broken bones, whatever. I got lucky. Survived.
Yeah, that was great, man. And I think mobility is absolutely key. So congratulations on the win for ACELAWRENCE with that 400K plus loot value all day solo today. And one of our clearly most likable and humble players coming in here with plenty of trepidation, but pulling out the win. Congratulations, man. Well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Arena Breakout, for having me again, and hopefully next time again. Arena Breakout.
Hey, coming out with the win. Thanks, man. We're gonna get back to some of these final results here, and we will see everyone again on our next Saturday. Thanks, ACELAWRENCE. Congrats on the win.
Thank you so much.
All right, that is it for today. We have a winner in ACELAWRENCE, able to get it only took 2 successful extractions today to win this event. That's how difficult it can be on these solo games, and it really is, anyone's game, because in any one of these rounds you could have a couple of high geared, high value players against you on the map, and it all comes down to whether or not you win that gunfight. And as we saw, sometimes bunker is an absolute gold mine for loot, and sometimes the most you can pull out of that. COSCRIPT looted every single room in that building and was only able to pull out 200K plus, and sometimes that's just the way it goes. And so congrats to ACELAWRENCE on the win. Always excited to have COSCRIPT in the event. And again, be sure to join us next Saturday at the same time. 1 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday is when you'll see that stream kick up and players in the game by about 1:45. So join us next Saturday for the next iteration of the Golden Lions Legion for more of this battle between content creators and competitors in Arena Breakout. And yeah, thanks to the production team and for Arena Breakout. It's really exciting to see a game put together events like this for the creators and the community every single week this early after the global launch. So if you haven't gotten into this game, I'd encourage you to do it. It looks like everyone here in the chat is probably close to as addicted as I am. So I'll see you in those lobbies. Thanks for joining us today, and we will see you next Saturday. And again, I'm Mod 6, and I'll be here with every event as we go forward. And it's exciting for me because this is the most realistic tactical shooter game on mobile. With my background as a U.S. Army officer, that's really what I enjoy. And so send the questions, DM me on Twitter, ask if you're curious about what's realistic to real life and what's not. I'm always happy to answer those questions. And so we're done here for today. I've got my 10-year-old son sitting in the living room waiting to get into Arena Breakout games with me. And so yeah, thanks for joining us, and we will see you next weekend.